One of the most frequent questions I receive from fans is, how do I build muscle while losing fat at the same time? And most of these questions are from teenagers or newcomers. Now, if you're familiar with the usual bulk and cut process that most fitness gurus teach you, that might seem impossible to do, but it's actually not. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, especially for teenagers. So let's begin, young blood. Before we get into how to build muscle while losing fat at the same time, you should know about the most common way to gain muscle, and that's bulking. Now, bulking is pretty much the exact opposite of what we're trying to achieve in this video. Bulking requires you to have a caloric surplus, aka eating way more than your body burns off in a sedentary state. And as you work out your muscles while maintaining your caloric surplus, while also making sure you eat healthy stuff with a lot of protein, the size of your muscles will slowly start to increase. But at the same time, you'll also notice your body fat percentage increases. And that is something we don't want, unless, you're going for that linebacker look. A lot of teenagers want that ideal cut look, which is usually achieved by bodybuilders by cutting the fat after they've had a hefty bulk. But is there a way to actually not go through that whole bulking process and still increase the size of your muscles? Thankfully, there is, and it's easier for teenagers when compared to every other age group. When you're a teenager going through puberty, your body is producing insane amounts of testosterone all the time, and testosterone plays just as important of a role when it comes to muscle building as a bulk may play. But you can't just rely on your body to build your muscles for you. That's something you've got to do yourself, and I'll be guiding you through the whole process. Now, if you're a newcomer when it comes to weightlifting, this is going to be easy for you. All you have to do is start lifting weights, and since your body isn't really used to lifting heavy weights, your muscles will generally grow faster than even people who may be on a 1,000 calorie surplus diet. We call those virgin gains, baby. This is the first 6 months of working out. Your body will essentially start to freak out and will use the fat cells you already have and burn them to give your muscles more energy. It's a crazy process, but think of your body as if it's a car and your fat cells are the reserve fuel. This also means that if you already have a lot of fat, you don't need to have a surplus at all in order to gain muscle. Your body already has all the fuel it needs to power your muscles, and all you have to do is use that fuel and lift those weights. And you'll be sure to see not just a massive increase in strength and muscle size, but also a reduction in weight. If you were someone who used to go to the gym and did have a lot of muscle mass in the past, but have just let yourself go over time, it should actually be pretty easy for you to gain all that muscle back while losing all the fat you gained. Your body is basically a machine, and once has learned something, it's really hard for it to forget it. You'll have an easier time at the gym due to your muscle memory, and your muscles will grow back to their original size way faster than when you originally gained it. Most of you probably fall into at least one of the categories I've mentioned already, and that's the case for most people. In reality, very few people actually need to go through the whole bulking process to gain weight, and those are people who have been going to the gym religiously for years, elite athletes, and everyone else like this. Regular people don't need to do that, even though most online tutorials end up talking to you as if you were Chris Bumstead or something. But by now, you probably understand that weightlifting and training overall is the most important part in building muscle while losing fat at the same time. But simply training alone isn't gonna do you any good. You, of course, need to take care of your diet as well. This doesn't mean you have to eat 3,000 calories in a single day and go on a bulk to gain muscle, nothing like that. But it does mean you have to watch what you eat. Calculate what your basal metabolic rate is, which is essentially the amount of calories you need to eat to maintain your exact weight, and you should generally eat 200 or so calories above that rate and burn it all off at the gym. You can also increase the number of calories you eat depending on how much you're burning at the gym. This is a great way to gain muscle as you won't be putting on any extra pounds of fat, but your body will still have the surplus it needs to support your muscles, and this technique is especially recommended if you're particularly skinny with not a lot of fat reserves for your body to tap into. This also doesn't mean you can munch on whatever you want as long as it's within your caloric range. It's also important to get the right kind of calories, so put down the Twinkie. You should try to add as much protein into into your diet as possible, and don't be shy about getting protein powder for that extra easy protein. Protein is the most important nutrient your body requires to build and then maintain muscle. If your surplus consists mainly of a bunch of carbs, then you aren't doing your muscles any favors. However, simply working out isn't doing you any favors either, but the way you work out is a lot more important. You need to make sure you focus on your technique and are doing all your exercises in a formulaic way. Formulaic. Yeah, that's a word, I'm pretty sure. Focus on lifting the weights right more than lifting heavier weights. You can increase your weights once you've perfected whatever exercise you're doing at that weight. This is not only going to increase the size of your muscles exponentially, but it's also going to give you a lot more definition in your muscles. You should eventually start increasing the weight you lift as you get better with each exercise. At this point, you basically know what to do, you know how to work out and what to eat. So what's next? Well, you basically need to set a goal for yourself. Some of you watching this video may primarily want to lose weight while gaining muscle, while some of you might be thinner and want to simply gain muscle without gaining any fat. You basically need to set a goal that you're happy with, which could be, say, a 10% increase in muscle mass and a 20% decrease in body fat. Once you've set the goal, you need to sort out an entire plan that revolves around matching these goals. You should look at the workouts that have helped increase your muscle mass the most and stick to them. And at the same time, you should also look at the food that you're eating and also the diet that helps you out the most and stick to that. Once you reach that goal, you get in your car and you go to McDonald's. No, I'm kidding. What you need to do now is simply maintain what you've achieved or set a new goal. Remember, simply letting everything go after achieving your goal won't do you any favors, as you'll just be back to square one. Maintaining and setting new goals is extremely important. And finally, at the end of all this, you need to know what you're doing. If something isn't working out for you, skip over it. Learn from your mistakes. Working out doesn't need to be difficult at all. All you need to do is optimize your workouts to how it suits you. There isn't just one way of working out. There are probably 1,000 different ways you can work out your chest, whether it's weightlifting or body weight workouts, but you simply need to start and do it. By now, you should probably know what to do. Make sure you do all the extra research that's necessary and follow everything I told you in this video, and you'll be gaining muscle while losing fat in no time. Always remember, anyone can gain muscle. All you have to do is put in the necessary work. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and until next time, peace.